Hello, it's Green. I'm out at the lake again. Haven't done a video in a while. I've been feeling really stressed out with my work, and so I'm happy I finally got a chance to get away. It's funny how, water really calms me down quite a bit. And they say that INFJs need to be near water. And I feel like that's really true because when I'm at home, I'm, in the woods is where I live, and especially in the summer, I love it there in the fall and the winter and the spring. In the summer, it gets pretty hot and humid and buggy. And so it's sort of nice to come out here, and I usually, if I have a lot of things on my mind, if I sit by the water, it does calm me down and make me feel a lot better. And interestingly enough, I really like the winter because of the snow, and so, which is another form of water as well, and I enjoy skiing and ice skating and kayaking and swimming, all things that have something to do with some form of water. So I thought that was an interesting connection. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about a few things that's come up since I've done the last video. One thing was I decided to take my own advice and to actually stop isolating myself and start looking for groups of people that I felt would be nurturing. I mean, I got to a point when I started to realize I'm getting depressed because I was having a lot of stress in my life. The relationships that I have in my life, my close relationships, were not very nurturing, I was realizing, and what I was doing was really just isolating myself. And what happens when we isolate ourselves, we do feel a little better because we're getting away from those negative relationships, but we're not creating any positive relationships. I mean, we are at least getting away from the negative ones, so that's why we feel better. But to really kind of heal, I think it's important to surround ourselves with people who are caring and nurturing and will make us feel better about ourselves. And so what I decided to do was I started going to a Unitarian church that was nearby. I had thought about it for a long time, and I went, and it's a pretty small church, so they have sort of like a circle of people in the summer that sit and talk, and it was just wonderful. I mean, it really was exactly what I need. I felt a real connection to people right away when I was there. I also decided I would start going to Al-Anon because I do have someone really close to me that does have a alcohol dependency problem, and so that was really nice. That was really good. And it was interesting. I went on a weekday morning, so it was mostly these older ladies, and I think that was kind of what I needed. I needed it was like coming into a room with a whole bunch of caring mothers, and it was a really nice experience. And and I would highly recommend that. I mean, as INFJs, or even as INFPs, you're feeling the emotions all the time. The INFJs are feeling everybody else's negative emotions. The INFPs are feeling their own negative emotions, and thus relating with other people who are feeling negative emotions and feeling a lot of sympathy for them. And so, that's why the INFJs and the INFPs are really the empaths. And it's hard to be an empath. I mean, it's a wonderful thing and it's a difficult thing. It's wonderful in the sense that we can really help people, we can really relate to people, we can really communicate with people. But the kryptonite is we can really take on people's problems, and we need to detach by that. We usually detach by isolating, but what we really need to do to heal is to come together with others who may be similar to us in some sort of way, who can relate to us. And it really doesn't matter what it is. I mean, I personally ended up, with these groups that I decided to choose to go to, but It can be anything, really. It can be anything where you feel a camaraderie, where you feel a comfort, where you feel like you're at home. I think that's the feeling that you need, the feeling of being at home, the feeling of being in a group of people where you don't feel judged, where you don't feel like on edge, where you don't feel like the fight or flight feeling is constantly coming at you. A place where you can feel like you can relax and be your authentic self. So, if you feel like your close relationships, and a lot of times our close relationships are a family, and it's not working out, or it's just being really strained, or, if it's your family of origin, it's just who they are, and you got to deal with them. And, isolate to the point that you need to detach and get away from those relationships and that energy and the negative energy, but then go out and get the positive energy. I think that's really what we need to do to heal, is to go get the positive energy, because the thing we seem to forget is we get so wallowed in the negative energy that we forget that we can wallow in the positive energy just as easily. It's just we have to be in that environment. So if we seek out the environment, then then you'll get those warm, fuzzy feelings, which is what we really want. We're always looking to create that harmony. When we get the cold, prickly feeling, when we get the feeling of something's wrong, it doesn't feel right, and so we just immediately try to harmonize everything, to try to make everything good, and then we get stressed out because we can't harmonize it, we can't make it better, and we get more and more stressed out. And you got to realize that that'll make you crazy. And so sometimes we need to step back, assess the situation, realize what's going on. Okay, we're empaths, and our empathic abilities are turning us into codependents. That's when you've got to step back, see the situation, and surround yourself with positive, loving people, because then at least you'll see the other side of the coin. You'll feel the good, positive energy, which you deserve to have. And one thing that came up that I have days where I get up and I'm full of negative energy, and I'm looking at everything around me, and I think everything's falling apart, and my house is a mess, and stuff at work is a mess, and I haven't kept up with my family schedule or what we need to do, and I get more and more stressed out because, I start beating myself up and hurting my self-esteem. And one thing I've started to say, instead of looking at it in that sense, one thing I started to say to myself when I get up and I look at a messy house, and I say, this is perfectly imperfect. I don't know what it is about those words, but saying something is perfectly imperfect just kind of takes away the edge of it. It just like says, there it is, because sometimes we have to realize that the whole world is perfectly imperfect. It is what it is. And I think what it is so much of our distress involves not accepting reality. And to see what reality is, and to go, there's reality, it's okay, then we're not necessarily on edge. Then we're not always trying to harmonize it and make it perfect, make it what it needs to be, so we're okay. And so my new mantra, I think, is that, okay, when I see something that distresses me, I go, oh, that's perfectly imperfect. And it helps me just accept it for what it is, and then I can do whatever it is I need to do. So, I don't know. I think that's about all I have to say. Look at that sunset. It's really pretty today. I have to go back home tomorrow, but I thought I'd make a video here before I do that. Okay, well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.